Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today is about an update on the arrest of Abba Kyari. Nigerians are reacting to the claims made by the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police's lawyer, saying that he's hypertensive and diabetic. Now, many are asking, why is it now that we're hearing about these illnesses? Why is it that the moment our public officials are faced with litigations, the next thing you hear is one ailment or the other? We've seen it with so many others. We have Meinan, at some point he fled. There was Olisametu. Remember him?
Yes.
Ayofayoshe too, with neck braces. And we're thinking, what is all this about?
One day.
Not even aside from what the act, the fact that the lawyers use all these technical jargons to delay justice. What are your thoughts on this? Are we doing ourselves?
Yeah.
You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-3907-6948. You can also tweet us at TVC, hashtag your TVC, and let us hear your tweets. Now, there are two sides. A lawyer has I'm looking for the right word. His job is to ensure, to defend his client, right? And he can actually protect his client based on the fact that the man has a right to seek medical help if indeed he's sick. But the problem is that we never hear of these things until they are faced with some kind of litigation. Stress. In your view, do you feel these are genuine requests by the lawyers, or is just a way to avoid justice to be served?
Mariah, everybody in this country has either hypertension, diabetes. You must have something that is worrying you. The only difference is if you are put under stress, it now shows. If I were a judge, those are mere excuses. And that's why we say that our correctional facilities need to be equipped so that even if it's the diabetes you have, or the high blood pressure that almost everybody is taking drugs, especially in Lagos, you will be in that correctional center and they will attend to you. Simple.
You're finished.
If you commit a crime and you are caught, you will face the consequences of that crime. If you are sick in the process, does not mean you will not face that consequences. We will take you to where you are supposed to be chained or held, bound, or whatever it is, and you will be treated. It's as simple as that. We'll get you professionals. The government is supposed to be doing this. So you see, when we watch all these American movies and you see somebody high-profile person who is sick and everything, they bring in doctors into the prison to attend to them. Yes. So it is not an excuse for us to take justice away because of. You knew you had the diabetes when you were committing the crime. You knew you had the high blood pressure. It didn't slow you down
from committing the crime.
Now it's time for consequences, and you want us to consider that. I think they should stop playing with us in this country. It's annoying. If I were a judge, they're going to hear them.
Okay, so my perspective of this is the job of a lawyer is to find loopholes for his clients.
Yeah. True.
And every law has loopholes. And then when I find that loophole, I glide my client through the loophole and help my client escape the toughest judgment possible. Yeah. That's why lawyers get paid
Can I
so
pause
well.
you for a quick second? There's something called social responsibility.
I'm going there.
So, as a lawyer, it's your job. Don't you have that thin line between your job and what is socially responsible for you to do?
Lawyers worldwide are technically called lawyers and liars because their job involves them not to, it's not about social responsibility. Lawyers are meant to defend even the worst criminals.
Yes.
And their job is to say, where in this law, even when I know my client killed somebody, where in this law can I put it under manslaughter, second degree? How can I find the softest landing for my client? So that's the job of the lawyer. The job of a government is to ensure that if a lawyer is found guilty of bending the rules or conniving with doctors, the lawyer loses his license and faces the highest level of punishment possible. Because if you leave things to chance, the lawyer will take advantage of every opportunity to rescue his client because he's well paid. I don't have any problem with you using the law to protect your client. I have a problem with you conniving. What we've seen is lawyers connive with doctors to arrange doctored papers claiming sicknesses that do not exist in order for their own clients to experience less care. When they go to hospitals, they have less security apparatus. They are sitting on a comfortable bed in the hospital. So the hospital is better than prison. So most of our politicians would rather be in the hospital with a security person looking after them, and their children can come and visit them at any time, than being in the prison where they have to be locked up. So it is a more convenient space, and all the lawyers are using this system. So our system knows this is the line of action. What is our system doing to ensure they don't fall through that crack?
Let me come to you on that question, which is important. So many of these high-profile cases, we see this entire thing play out exactly the same way. So shouldn't the police at this time, or even the prosecutors, have an airtight case? No, okay, I know the next thing you're going to do now is to tell the face come in a wheelchair. Shouldn't they prepare and know that, okay, we've played this out before, this is how it's going to go?
That's exactly where I was going as they were talking. I'm like, you can find all the loopholes and you can try all the tricks, but then you come and meet a seasoned professional prosecutor waiting for you because they understand all the tricks in the books, and they understand that, and that's why many times we would hear cases that would read about in the papers, and we are jubilating. EFCC has got this person, NDLA has got airtight in our own opinion. Then we now hear one word was not used and one thing was not used, and it has been thrown out. So we need to start employing people who are trained, who are experienced, who are professionals. Also, maybe pay some of the people on the other side to work with your lawyers for a bit, to give them that sort of training. Let them go to school. Every time you come to, you have a case like that, when you lose a case on the government side, what is the work that they do, you know, to come back when you go on appeal? It's just irritating that every time all of us can see a case, clear cut, this person is going, he should be gone, but then we hear that the case has been thrown out. And then they leave the person, maybe they'll say, okay, it's been adjourned for many years. So that's another thing with the courts. Where you adjourn a case for so many years, somebody that is a criminal that should not even be walking the street. So I'm happy even for these 14 days that they've extended and insisting that they stay in detention. Because for me, I think Abba Kyari is a flight risk. He may not be flying to America because he knows they're looking for him there, but he'll be going somewhere else. So it's important that we have trained professionals that defend our country.
Now, there's this thing the ladies of your view have always said, we the people. So we are also complicit in this because there's a doctor right there. A doctor who complains of Nigerian corruption, who complains that they want to go on strike because the government is not paying him. A doctor who is complaining that he's about to leave Nigeria to go abroad because he's not getting the greener pastures in Nigeria. That same doctor is doctoring this the report, medical report, saying, like, we're not saying that's what's happening here. We're just saying in many cases, these same doctors who are Nigerians complaining of corruption are the same doctors writing fake medical reports, conniving with lawyers. Lawyers who are also complaining of corruption in Nigeria, who also complaining that we have bad roads, complaining that the politicians are the same lawyers defending criminals. So are we not all complicit in this mess?
We are. You know the thing, when you are in, unfortunately, most of us are in a survival mode. And when you're in that mode, there's a lot of viciousness. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of hunger. You want to eat. You want to, as you are eating, you want to press another person down so that the person does not rise. You don't want another person's success so that they don't forget you. That circle, it's vicious. And that's where most of us are in. And that's why we cannot put the country's interest above our own. That medical doctor who is complaining the government is not paying and everything, when he sees money put in front of him, can you help us doctor this report? And then he will think of, this money now we equip my children's children. And then he goes that way because we're still at that level of survival. And everything boils down to giving us the basic needs. When the society at large, the average Nigerian will not think of those little things that would make life easy for them. When it comes very easily, you see that a lot of people will align with putting another person or putting the country's interest first, because you know that if I die today, my children are taken care of. If this one happens to me today, everybody will be okay around me. So why do I want to amass and hide that? So you see, the problem is heavy. I don't know where I want to start.
Let's go on a quick.
We're not going anywhere. We're here.
Come back. We'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We are still discussing this Abba Kyari matter, where his lawyer is saying that he has diabetes. And we say, almost everybody in Nigeria has all kind of diabetes or hypertension. And I know we BP drug, but what are your, you have some comments here.
So for me, I feel like human nature would we have good and evil, and society has nurtured the evil so much because we say the evil you give, it will grow the evil within us. Our society has nurtured so much evil, and that's why the doctor would resort to anything to settle his own family as well. Yeah. But I think that what prevents society, people from going into doing serious, vicious, evil things is that there is serious justice. And the moment you commit crime, the way the system hits you, not that you would, 3 people would siphon 450 million and share it, and then they'll say they should pay 2 million naira and escape. Those kind of punishments is not a deterrent.
At all.
When you want to deal with corruption, you use a strong enough deterrent that the thought of the suffering that would happen will keep the evil-minded people
China was cleaning them in the bed
from doing what they want to do. So you know that doctors might doctor a document. And you know lawyers will find loopholes to escape their clients and might fraudulently create this system. Then you would create a system that as much, no matter the money you pay the lawyer will be like, what I'm losing is greater than this.
License and
the doctor will feel like what I'm losing is greater than this. So the punishment needs to be strong enough to be a deterrent. If not, we'll continue to have these things happen.
Let me take Yakub, then we'll take a few more comments and we're done. Yakub, are you there? Hello, Yakub, you're live. Good morning, Yakub, you're there. Let's take a few comments on social media that we run up. Yakub, are you there?
Okay. You just mentioned.
Okay, so we have to wrap up. Any other final comments on this?
Yeah. Okay, so I have Olabamidele who says, we're beginning to see that we're the enemies of ourselves. Without justice, there will be no peace. Someone here said that when he used to commit crimes in the UK, he had the police, go with him to the hospital back and forth. So, I think we have spoken about many times how we do things here. We need to improve on our training. We need to improve on our exposure. I know that the government always does this where they send some of our officials to travel abroad for a specified number of time to just sort of shadow some of these agencies. So they see how they do it, how they get information, and they come back. But we've heard, of course, as Nigerians, when they go there, they spend most of their time at the malls doing, God knows what. They come back and they have nothing to report. So this doing for ourselves is something that is really ingrained in us. We do it for every little thing in every single sector, even our little tiny jobs. Right. You find somebody, you say, where you work is where you eat, which does not mean do your best to make sure that this business does so well so that you get paid better. But it means take out of the business, steal from the business. Even this Abba Kyari conversation we're having is about the where you eat is where you work is where you shop.
Let me take this comment. It says, when someone finds an ailment which he or she doesn't suffer from, he or she will surely have to contend with that ailment sooner or later.
That's coughing.
The lawyers are the issue here. They teach or coach people these ungodly lies. God bless the soul of notable legal icons like your dad and Gani Fayemi. Let me take this call. Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
I'm there. Where are you?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You can hear me, please.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Go ahead. What happened to you?
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Morayo, you see, Morayo, why this thing continues keeping repeating itself is this. The fire of this world, even the former aviation minister, the Panika of this world, and then let me just mention two, out of all. They play this card and then they get away with it. Yeah. That is why this thing will continue repeating itself. I didn't mean that those lawyers and the doctor that collide together form the fake report. I didn't mean they seize their license and then they send them where they belong to. I don't know if you quickly say this, Morayo. You see, some of the lawyers, they lack the morality. Your father, the Akaba Shoro of this world, you will never defend this kind of person. The former Ganifa of this world, they will never defend of this. And then the little legend, I forgot his name quickly. But what I'm saying in essence is that how could I believe this kind of a thing happen? How will even commit the offense in Saudi Arabia or in China? They will never have access and they will never have opportunity to tell us this. If you commit this kind of offense in South Sudan, and then you commit this kind of offense in China, you know where you are going.
In China.
You see,
China.
whereby in Nigeria, there's a lot of the
Thank you very much, Baku. We have to wrap up now. Any final message, just quickly?
Emmy France Collins in Twitter said, but it was not hypertensive or diabetic when he was enjoying the funds from hard drugs and other criminal activities. Maria Roberts says, Nigeria, my country, he is suddenly sick. May God grant him quick recovery to face justice. And that's because I'm a humanitarian. I would have commented otherwise. Fatima Waziri says, there are evil people always reporting, sorry, okay. The man says the court should allow him take his medication in his cells.
Yep.
Now I get it. He's caught with, culpable with drugs, and then he's having hypertension and diabetes. Let him face justice. And most people are commenting the fact that you are sick doesn't mean you cannot face justice. So I think that this excuse should no longer be allowed to keep you away from
anymore. Okay, that's all we can take on this segment. But I think we're not assuming and we're not alleging that this man is guilty of the charges. We're just saying that it's a normal card that's been played. All politicians, he might indeed be sick, and his illness may not allow him to face the wrath of the law. But the point is, why do we care to know about these illnesses and ailments when they are facing litigation? That's the issue. So we're not in any way saying that Abba Kyari is guilty. But that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to another segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.